Greetings everyone, and welcome to the G-Spot. That's what I'm gonna call this. This is my little morning routine I'm gonna do. My name is Gerard, editor-in-chief of SGIB Magazine. That stands for Soldiers Got Intentions Believe That. And everybody should be soldiering for something. A dream, a goal, a career, a train of thought, something. You have to be moving towards some kind of objective in life. If not, then you're just floundering anywhere. And owner of PPG's Production, which is Photos by Gerard, the best in freelance publicity photography. And welcome to SGIBmagOnTV on YouTube. Okay, well, right now it's 1 in the morning after the New York storm in 2009. As you see, we still got a lot of snow outside. It's very pleasant. And if you saw the video I posted earlier, you'll see that I drove me out of the spot after the snowstorm in Brooklyn. You know, just kind of just put something up there. But anyway, this morning, it's time to turn down the music a little bit because I don't want to be yelling. It's still early in the morning. This morning started off like most others. You know, I'm feeling a little bit continental, so I have my coffee. I put a little shot of Hennessy in here to kind of get me kick-started through the day. You know, I woke up. My breakfast consists of French fries that were on the floor or around the couch where I fell asleep at and everything. They always make interesting treats the next morning, whatever it was that I was eating, that I happened to fall asleep while I was eating. But since we're in December, we're in the Christmas spirit, I thought maybe let me kind of get into the Christmas atmosphere here, so that way I don't appear to be a Scrooge or anything like this. I wonder if I'm in the Christmas spirit. But you know what? It was interesting because I know this year, for some reason, I felt a little bit, you know, more festive than usual. So I don't know. Something told me in November that when I paid my rent in November, I asked the landlord, I said, hey, look, you know, can I hold back $500 just for Christmas and kind of, you know, have a little, you know, get my nuts out of the sand, so to speak, kind of have a little extra, you know, in case I wanted to do something or whatever. And you know, my mother once told me a poor mouth don't get fed. So I asked, and it was surprising enough they agreed. So they let me, you know, add that little $500 on, you know, in 2010 as I pay rent, which is wonderful. So I was blessed by officially starting off the new year in debt, because oftentimes, many years in my life, I have not celebrated Christmas. We won't get into that. So with that, I was able to actually get my nuts out of the sand, you know, and have a little extra money throughout December, you know, even if it's just for gas or for food or the bare necessities. It was a welcome to have that. You know, speaking of, I want to point out a couple of things I read in the newspaper. You know, I'm still getting Newsday. I was kind of upset at the fact that they didn't broadcast or they didn't write anything about Kathy Sharpton and Dominique Sharpton being arrested in New York when they got stopped. Yeah, or when Dominique passed the unmarked car, turned me a police car, and both of them are getting arrested, etc. So I called Newsday and asked them, you know, because often the time I usually start the day by listening to 1010 Wins, which is the news radio. And anything that strikes my fancy in the news, then I pick up the paper, I can find it in the paper, and read more detail about it. And that's what I was hoping to do. And when it didn't appear, I was disappointed. So of course I called the newspaper and asked them why or who made the decision, and I haven't gotten a call back from them. I want to cancel the paper, but then, you know, although it would send a message, believe me, even as we're always told, that even each one of us count in the actions that we do, you know. So I'd like to think that if I did cancel the newspaper, that it wouldn't be taken lightly, because if hundreds or thousands like me felt the same way or mobilized, you know, for behind the cause, it could have an effect. But anyway, I decided to keep the newspaper because there are some things coming in the newspaper that I will pick up on that I didn't get to hear in the news. Like for instance, like let's talk about Christmas gifts, okay? First of all, you know, depending upon where you are and how you feel about Christmas gift, I got this Christmas gift. This is a gift that was given to me by a friend who, this porn star was at a place, and her name is Nikki Benz. And I have a signed copy from her, and let me tell you that this picture does not do her justice. But anyway, I was kind of happy that someone gave me that picture and then also be able to have it signed. And if for those of you who are civic minded or community minded or want to stay on top of the police and everything, well, you know that last week the New York Department has, or they have agreed. Let me put my glasses on. They have agreed to now test New York's highest court yesterday unanimously upheld the rights of New York City Police Department to test its police officers for drugs through hair sampling. And this is an important thing because oftentimes, just like in the Sean Bell thing, you know, you have undercover cops who are hanging in clubs and what have you, and maybe drinking or doing drugs to blend in, and that often the time, you know, they don't get tested. But you know, there was always a question of if their judgment was impaired or intact. So yeah, so it got passed for them to be able to test the hair sampling. And they wanted the Police Benevolence Association, the PBA, wanted to have this as a collective bargaining issue. And what that virtually means is that they'll go 100% behind it if they're able to bargain with it to get something, whatever. But that shot down because, you know, it's just a good policy to have, and Ray Carey is behind that, and a big ups to him, man. And because the hair sampling, you can test someone up to drugs up to 90 days, whereas the urine sample was a lot shorter. So that's pretty good. And also, I ran across this article here regarding cell phones, and it says here that cell phones have cancer warning, and there is a legislator in Maine who wants to put a label on it that said it could cause a brain injury, brain cancer. And the manufacturer, because it has electromagnet radiation that can occur. Now, the interesting thing about this is that the Federal Communication Commission says it's fine, but the only thing is that they're testing of rating that amount of radiation that they say is acceptable. They're keeping it from you. They won't release it. So that makes you think that there's something to hide. So those of you who, it says pregnant women and children should also, you know, be concerned about that, or not to have a cell phone near them if the information is not jointly agreed upon in the consensus of scientists who are working on this. So that's something you need to keep an eye on, that depending upon how you feel, like tofu. You know, this is his brother here who just got involved in some type of child molesting thing from NTV, you know, American dance crew or choreographer for Fox, etc. Some girl 14 and something years ago just came forward. So it's always a hassle, and that definitely can ruin your day when you get accused of something like that. And for those of you who don't believe that stuff will come back to bite you, it will. And you know what? Speaking of being in a ho 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 spirit, this girl here named Ashley Dupree, the one who brought by the Judge Spitzer for having sex, you know, with him. She was, I guess she was called girl number 9 or something like that, or number 9. And you know, and now she is a New York City Post journalist, and she has a column called Ask Ashley, and we